Why 2026 will be the worst year ever for immigrants in Canada. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today's video uncovers a major shift inside Canada's immigration system that will make 2026 the toughest year in decades for students, workers, families, and anyone hoping to build a future here. Policies are tightening, pathways are shrinking, and competition is rising across almost every category. These changes will affect both newcomers and those already living in Canada, and understanding what's ahead could make all the difference. This video breaks down the confirmed updates shaping 2026, and more importantly, what you can do right now to protect your plans. Near the end, we'll explore how to navigate the 2026 immigration squeeze, a guide filled with practical strategies to help you avoid setbacks during a difficult year. So stay with us until the very end. You don't want to miss the solutions and insights that can help keep your immigration journey on track. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss important updates. Let's get started. The pressure that has been building for years. Canada is entering a period defined by contraction and selectivity. For more than a decade, the country expanded its intake of international students, temporary foreign workers, and permanent residents faster than ever before. By 2023 and 2024, temporary residents reached record numbers, public services were strained, housing availability fell sharply, and provinces demanded structural reforms. Now 2026 becomes the year where the federal government moves from warning to action. It is the first full year where the reduction of temporary residents, the freeze on permanent resident admissions, and the restructuring of multiple programs all take effect at the same time, the PR freeze that will squeeze thousands. Canada's 2026 to 2028 immigration levels plan sets permanent resident admissions at 380,000 per year with no planned increases. This freeze is one of the biggest shifts in modern immigration policy. For years, applicants relied on annual expansions to relieve pressure. That safety valve is now gone. With a fixed cap, immigration, refugees and Citizenship Canada, provincial nominee programs, family sponsorship streams, and humanitarian pathways must all operate within the same limited space. This means more competition, higher cutoffs, and fewer opportunities for applicants who do not have strong profiles. The contraction of temporary resident pathways. The federal government has also committed to reducing the proportion of temporary residents in Canada. Although Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada has not released a numeric reduction target, the direction is clear: fewer temporary residents, more targeted selection, and stricter alignment with labor needs. This affects students, work permit holders, visitors, and anyone hoping to transition from temporary status to permanent residence. Programs that once felt predictable now require stronger documentation, clearer justification, and closer adherence to rules. The shakeup in the international student system. International students will feel some of the most intense pressure in 2026. The national study permit cap continues, and provinces must allocate limited spaces to designated learning institutions. Many schools have already received reduced allocations. Institutions without strong housing support or academic oversight risk losing the right to accept international students. Students applying in 2026 will encounter higher financial requirements, stricter program relevance assessments, and deeper scrutiny of institutional quality. This creates the most competitive environment for study permits in more than a decade. The PGWP reforms reshaping post-graduation life. Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada has been reforming the post-graduation work permit program since 2024. These reforms will continue into 2026. While final rules are pending, the confirmed direction is that eligibility will become more selective and better aligned with sectors facing labor shortages. Students entering programs that do not lead to in-demand skills may no longer have guaranteed access to a PGWP. For international graduates already in Canada, stronger compliance becomes essential because extension and renewal options remain limited. The tightening of provincial nominee programs. Provincial nominee programs are adjusting to federal caps and local labor demands. Ontario is strengthening residency and employer verification. British Columbia is updating requirements for schools with high international student enrollment. Alberta continues to review labor and licensing practices. Manitoba and Saskatchewan have revised nomination priorities to support regional industries. Quebec has already replaced its former fast-track student pathways with more selective French-focused systems. These changes reduce easy pathways and require applicants to demonstrate stronger labor alignment and long-term settlement potential. The housing factor driving immigration decisions. Housing availability has become one of the strongest influences on immigration policy. Federal and provincial leaders increasingly link immigration planning to housing supply and affordability. While immigrants are not the cause of the housing crisis, the crisis is now shaping the rules. Provinces that cannot demonstrate adequate housing may face limits on study permits or nominee allocations. Large cities with housing shortages may see tighter local requirements, while smaller centers may receive more flexibility. The new enforcement landscape under Bill C-12. Bill C-12, known as the Strengthening Canada's Immigration System and Borders Act, modernizes how cases are assessed, how information is shared, and how fraud or high-risk situations are handled. It does not create new inadmissibility categories, but it allows faster action when documentation is inconsistent or when program integrity is at risk. For applicants, this means the accuracy and clarity of every document now matter more than ever. In a competitive system, officers have less room to request corrections, and refusals may occur earlier in the process. The slowdown in work permit transitions. Temporary foreign workers will face a more challenging environment in 2026. The federal government has expressed a desire to reduce reliance on temporary labor in certain sectors. At the same time, provinces have increased inspections and oversight to prevent employer misuse of foreign worker programs. Industries such as agriculture, food processing, hospitality services, manufacturing operations, and long-haul trucking depend heavily on temporary foreign workers and permanent residents. These sectors will experience tighter verification, more documentation requirements, and closer reviews of job duties compared to the National Occupational Classification approvals may take longer, and the expectations for precision will be higher. The growing risk of non-compliance for those already in Canada. For temporary residents in Canada, non-compliance becomes a major risk in 2026. Even small errors, working unauthorized hours, studying without the correct permit, missing a restoration deadline, or providing inconsistent information could jeopardize long-term plans. With reduced pathways and fewer available spots, officers may issue refusals where they previously offered opportunities to correct mistakes. Maintaining clean records, accurate documentation, and consistent information is essential. The decline of visitor flexibility. Visitor visa applicants and visitor extensions will undergo more scrutiny as Canada manages temporary resident inflow more closely. Transitioning from visitor status to a work or study permit will require stronger justification and clearer intention. Those hoping to remain in Canada long-term must prepare carefully, ensuring timing, documentation, and purpose of stay are fully aligned. The uncertainty in processing times. Processing times are likely to fluctuate in 2026 as Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada redistributes its resources. Some programs may move faster, while others may slow down, especially categories that are not top priorities. Applicants who prepare early and submit complete applications will be in the best position to handle these changes. The shrinking margin for mistakes. A tightened system gives officers less flexibility. Errors that once caused delays may now result in immediate refusals. Applicants must ensure that employment letters, bank statements, transcripts, and all supporting documents are accurate, consistent, and fully verifiable. Precision becomes one of the strongest tools for improving success in 2026. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. How to navigate the 2026 immigration squeeze. The best strategy for avoiding setbacks in 2026 is to act early, strengthen your profile, and understand the new environment. Applying before rules tighten gives you a much stronger advantage. Students should apply to reputable institutions with strong approval records. Workers should ensure job duties align with the correct National Occupational Classification and verify that employers can provide clear documentation. Prospective permanent resident applicants should focus on boosting language scores, securing relevant work experience, and maintaining full compliance. Strengthening your case before applying. Conduct a full review of your profile before submitting any application. Ensure language results are valid, credentials are assessed, and financial proof is strong. Temporary residents must maintain legal status without gaps and follow all authorized work and study conditions. Consistency across applications is crucial, especially with modernized data matching tools. Choosing the right pathway in a tightened system. Selecting the correct pathway is more important than ever. Programs in smaller communities or regional streams such as rural pathways may offer more predictable opportunities. Applicants aligned with priority occupations will maintain an advantage. Strategic planning can make a major difference. Staying fully compliant and documentation ready. Renew permits early. Keep employment and school documentation up to date. Avoid any activities not authorized by your permit. For permanent resident applications, strong documentation such as pay stubs, job letters, transcripts, and proof of funds is essential, especially in a competitive year. Planning for the long term. Immigrants should think beyond the application stage and prepare for long-term settlement. This includes understanding housing, affordability, job markets, and regional opportunities. Those who align with Canada's long-term needs will be in the best position to succeed despite tighter rules. As we move closer to 2026, one thing is clear. Canada's immigration landscape is changing faster than many expected. The policies and reforms shaping this year will directly influence the opportunities available to students, workers, families, and long-term residents. Taking action now and staying informed will help you avoid the challenges ahead. Thank you for watching and supporting Canada Chronicles. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss important updates. See you in the next video.